Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new season of CAA Travel Talks. Today, we're going on an incredible journey to Alaska. So excited. Absolutely love Alaska. And today we have the Alaska experts with us. We have Caitlin and Taylor, who have actually spent the summer in Alaska. So who better to tell us what's fresh and new is Taylor and Caitlin. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Great. If anyone has any questions as we are going along in our presentation, please feel free. There's a little Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. We'll monitor those and address those at the end of the presentation. So CA Travel, we have been booking travel for you since 1961. Worldwide planning, if you're looking for a cruise, a tour, an all-inclusive, or a simple car and hotel, we're there to help you every step of the way to make your trip magical and let us do all the heavy lifting for you. At CAA, we have something very special. We have a program called CAA Vacations. And what does this mean? It's extra amenities and benefits exclusively from our partners to our members that are not going to be found anywhere else in the marketplace. As a CAA member, you're eligible for some exclusive benefits. Check your passports, make sure they're up to date. That's always really important. And if they have expired, go on into the CAA store and you can get your photos done there for free if you are a plus or a premier member. And if you are a basic or an everyday, they're only $8.50. You can actually use your CA dollars that you would earn with our CA reward partners, and you can apply those to the cost of your new Alaska trip that you'll be taking. Professional fees are waived for members, and we also issue international driving permits for you. Now, the one thing that's still very important today is travel insurance. I say it's the most important thing that I pack, and whether you're looking for cancellation, interruption, of course, your medical insurance, or you want to do an annual plan, go on into the CA team, and you can save up to 20%, which is incredible. You could be saving up to 20% on some travel accessories and luggage going into the stores. And new this year with Shell, you're going to save 3 cents a liter off fuel and 10% off the car wash and items in the stores. So a CA travel professional, our team are Travel Smart certified, meaning they've done lots of training over the last few years to make sure that they're up to date on everything that's going on in the world and to make the ease of booking great. And they're going to do everything for you, give you lots of tips and advice. Again, the exclusive member benefits that you're going to hear about tonight also apply to Holland America and Alaska. And of course, bundling it all, it's going to make it a one-stop shop and make it very easy for you. So tonight, Caitlin and Taylor are going to take us on a magical journey to Alaska. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here today. I'm Taylor and this is Caitlin. We want to welcome everyone to Holland America Line's Onstage Alaska. We are going to spend the next 40 minutes or so sharing a little bit about how we at Holland America can help make your Alaska vacation dreams a reality. When you picture Alaska, you likely envision glistening glaciers, untouched wilderness, and abundant wildlife. Holland America is unmatched at bringing these elements to the forefront of your journey.
And at Holland America, we have a tradition of travel. We have been sailing for over 150 years and bringing guests to Alaska for over 75 years, which is longer than Alaska has even been a state. So that deep knowledge and those long-standing relationships allow us to offer you an exclusive and authentic Alaskan experience. So once again, my name is Caitlin.
And I'm Taylor.
And we are both from sunny South Florida. So you might be wondering how two Florida girls became your Alaska experts. Well, 4 years ago, I had the chance to go out to Alaska for the very first time. And 4 friends and I rented an RV and did all of the Alaska things. So we went halibut fishing, ice climbing, glacier kayaking, and I fell in love with Alaska. And the following summer, I had the chance to go back out to Alaska to work, and even better, to go work with a friend.
That friend is me. So Caitlin and I work as tour directors for Holland America. And what we do is we lead land tours that take folks like you into the interior of Alaska. And we even take them into the Yukon territory of Canada. So in doing so, we've developed a wealth of knowledge about those areas, and we are very happy to call ourselves reverse snowbirds because we escape the heat and humidity of the Floridian summer in exchange for the ideal weather conditions of the Alaskan summer.
So now that you know a little bit more about us, we'd like to take the next few moments to let you know more about who we are at Holland America. At Holland America, we have perfectly sized ships, destination dining, award-winning service, and the best entertainment at sea.
Now, when you look at Holland America in Alaska specifically, the touchstones that set us apart become even more apparent. We are #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours, as well as #1 in Alaska glaciers. We give our guests more time on land, which allows us to connect them to authentically Alaskan experiences. Finally, we have a fresh and local seafood program, which brings the bounty of the Alaskan Sea onto your plate.
Oh, and I see we have a question here. If any of you haven't been to Alaska, you might have some general questions about Alaska. And the first of which might just be, how great is the Great Land? Alaska is immense. It is larger than Texas, California, and Montana combined. But that vastness is what makes it such an incredible destination to travel to.
Folks often wonder when the best time to visit us in Alaska is. Now, my simple answer is going to be whenever you have the most time to truly enjoy it. But we offer a very generous tourism season here at Holland America, and that starts with the late spring. Now, spring is a time of renewal. You have thawing landscapes, you have wildflowers blooming, and migrating wildlife is returning to the region. Next up is summer. Summer's where we earn our title, the land of the midnight sun. We have many hours of daylight at this time, and it is the peak of our tourism season. In the city of Fairbanks, in fact, they play an annual baseball game where the first pitch is thrown at midnight. That brings us to fall. Fall ushers in a spectacle of colors. You have the hillside exploding into a tapestry of amber and yellow hues, wild blueberries growing, and it finally does become darker out. Every day since summer solstice, we lose 7 minutes of sunlight every day. So you do have the chance to see the elusive aurora borealis. And if you stay at one of our hotel properties, you can even request a Northern Lights wake-up call.
Well, we can talk about Alaska's size and seasons. I think the real reason that many of you want to come to Alaska is to experience some of its incredible wildlife. And at Holland America, we are #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. And that's because we offer over 175 wildlife experiences and excursions alone. So you can encounter anything from visiting a dog mushing village on a glacier to cruising through the Kenai fjords waiting for a pod of whales to breach. There really is something for everyone. And folks often wonder, what am I going to see? And travel to Alaska's interior allows you the opportunity to encounter some of the land Big Five animals, which are the bear, Dall sheep, moose, gray wolf, and caribou.
Now, in addition to the land Big Five, you also have the marine Big Five. The beauty of cruising in Alaska is you might be able to spot some of these majestic sea animals from the comfort of your ship. So my advice is the next time you're taking a soak in one of our hot tubs, make sure you're listening for the hum of the humpback. Now, the marine Big Five consists of the orca, stellar sea lion, sea otter, gray whale, and humpback whale.
Now, Taylor and I just finished our 2024 season not too long ago, but we're already looking ahead to our 2025 season, which is promising to be the best yet. We will have 6 ships positioned in the region, and we'll be offering a wide variety of both cruise and cruise tour itineraries. And Holland America is the only cruise line to include a UNESCO World Heritage Site visit on every single itinerary. One possible location is Glacier Bay National Park, where we offer more sailings than anyone else. Then we have Wrangell St. Elias, which is home to Hubbard Glacier, which is the second largest glacier in the world. And then finally, as of September 2023, we have the newest UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is Dawson City, located in the Yukon Territory of Canada.
Now, in addition to UNESCO World Heritage Sites, we also bring you to some iconic national parks. Now, 7 out of 10 of the largest national parks in the United States are located in Alaska. And if you take a cruise or cruise tour with us, you could visit Denali, Kenai Fjords, Wrangell St. Elias, and Glacier Bay.
And with Holland America, you can experience Alaska two different ways. The first of which is your Alaska cruise. So that is your travel by sea. And think of your cruise as your foundation for exploring Alaska. And we offer a wide variety of 7 all the way to 28-day itineraries.
We also offer Alaska cruise tours. These are going to be a combination of travel by both land and sea. So we add land into the equation and extend your adventure into the interior of Alaska. And you could even have exclusive access to the Yukon Territory, since we are the only cruise tour that brings folks there. Now, some of your cruise tours even come complete with a tour director like Caitlin and I, who helps to maximize and enhance the time that you spend on land.
So while you can experience Alaska two different ways with a cruise or a cruise tour, we're going to break those down even further and talk to you about the 3 different categories of Alaska vacations. So we have our Alaska cruises, our Alaska and Denali cruise tours, and our Alaska, Denali, and Yukon cruise tours. We're going to break all of these down in greater detail, but first we'll talk to you about Alaska cruises, because anyone who travels to Alaska with Holland America will be setting sail on a cruise.
Imagine witnessing the spectacle of a calving glacier from your spacious veranda deck. Now, Holland America offers 7, 14, and 28-day sailing itineraries. My favorite right now is going to be the 14-day Great Alaskan Explorer. This itinerary takes you to some off the beaten track ports like Valdez, Sitka, and Kodiak. It is one of the first that sells out, so make sure that you speak to your travel advisor if this one is of interest to you.
And while Alaska might be known as the last frontier, you will have a comfortable base aboard our cruise ships. And that begins in your spacious, elegantly appointed stateroom, where we offer personalized touches through our award-winning service. We want you to think of your stateroom as your home away from home. And there are many different categories of staterooms that fit every single traveler's preference. And booking early just helps you to ensure that you receive not only your stateroom category of preference, but also your sailing date of preference. And all of our ships offer different ways to discover, taste, and experience Alaska so that you're not just going to feel like a tourist, but a traveler who is immersed in culture. To experience Alaska, we have shore excursions that are designed to connect you to the history, culture, nature, and people of the state.
With Holland America, you can also taste Alaska. We are the first and only cruise line that has earned a responsible fisheries management certification that deems that we serve fresh, local, sustainable seafood aboard all of our vessels in the 49th state. If you aren't a fan of seafood, you might see local ingredients like fresh picked Alaskan berries and reindeer sausage throughout the menus. And we even have an Alaska-inspired beverage program that has cocktails served with locally distilled spirits, and they come complete with a glacial ice cube from an already calved 800-year-old glacier.
But glaciers are just the tip of the iceberg because our ships offer many different ways to discover Alaska, and that's through our location-specific onboard programming. So we bring wildlife experts on board. You can attend lectures on the Iditarod race or learn about the Tlingit culture from a native storyteller. All of this location-specific programming is just going to help ensure that you feel like you're in Alaska, even if you don't step off the ship. And at Holland America, we are #1 in Alaska glaciers, and this is due to our long history in the state. So we're able to offer more permits than any other cruise line to sail into Glacier Bay National Park, which only allows 2 permits a day. So it's pretty special. And all of our sailings offer at least 1 day of scenic glacier cruising. And one possible location for your glacier day is Glacier Bay National Park. Now, on Glacier Day, there's a real buzz on board. It's a highlight for so many of our guests. We serve our famous split pea soup on every deck, and we also serve hot chocolate if split pea soup isn't your favorite. And the captain may even open the bow of the ship to offer you even more Glacier Vantage viewing points. And we bring park rangers on board. So they are on board your entire day in Glacier Bay. They lend their expertise, they narrate your journey, they have lectures that you can attend, Q&A sessions. So we really bring the national park to you, even the national park stamp. And at Holland America, many of our sailings offer a glacier guarantee that entitles you to 15%, that is 1 5, in future cruise credit if you do not visit a glacier.
Now we take you to several iconic glaciers. There are many different possibilities of which one you could go to, but I will highlight a couple of the standouts. One of them is Mendenhall Glacier. It's located near the port of Juneau, and it's reachable by shore excursion. Now you can reach Mendenhall Glacier by an easy, flat walking path. So it is a unique opportunity to get up close and personal from the land side. We also have College Fjord. Now, College Fjord is located near the port of Whittier. It's reachable either by shore excursion or by scenic glacier cruising on your cruise ship. And it's so unique because all of the glaciers in College Fjord are actually named after Ivy League colleges. So you can come home from your vacation and tell all your friends that you went to Harvard. Now, we offer more ways to see Alaska glaciers than any other cruise line. And of course, that starts with cruising, but we also have hiking, flight seeing, and of course, my personal favorite, which is dog sledding. We have several spectacular ports of call that you could have the opportunity to visit, one of which is Juneau. Now, Juneau is the state capital of Alaska, and it is world renowned for whale watching. In fact, some of the shore excursion providers are so confident that you will see a whale that they offer money-back guarantees. Next up is Ketchikan. Ketchikan is a town that was built on the tourism, timber, and salmon fishing industry. So if you are a fan of fishing and you want to catch some halibut or salmon, Ketchikan is a great port to do that. My parents came out and visited me in Alaska 2 summers ago, and we caught over 150 pounds of halibut that we had shipped home to our doorstep. So I highly recommend fishing in Alaska. We also offer, for any fans of The Deadliest Catch, a shore excursion which takes you out on the Bering Sea aboard an authentic crab fishing vessel. Next up, we have Skagway. Skagway is known as the gateway to the Klondike, and it is home to the #1 rated tourist attraction in all of Alaska, which is the White Pass and Yukon Railroad. Now, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but it is a stunning ride aboard a historic narrow gauge railroad through mountainous scenery.
And next up, another port of call that we'll highlight is Sitka. In Sitka, you can encounter my personal favorite of the marine big 5 animals, which is the sea otter. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but when sea otters are resting, they link up in what's known as rafts, and they wrap themselves in kelp and they hold each other's hands to keep from floating away from each other. I think I can hear a collective awe coming from the other side of the screen. And then finally, we have Whittier. Now, Whittier is the gateway to the Prince William Sound, and that is where College Fjord is located for anyone that was looking to get that Ivy League education. But from Whittier, you can also visit the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. And there you can see some rehabilitated bears and other native wildlife, as well as support their efforts to restore the local wood bison population.
Now, we've talked about Holland America at sea, but now let's add land into the equation and talk about your Alaska cruise tours. Now, your Alaska cruise tours are going to be your cruise paired with seamless land travel throughout the interior of Alaska and possibly into the Yukon Territory of Canada. Now, this is simple travel, meaning that we handle the details for you. Everything from our luggage delivery service that takes your bags door to door from each hotel to our Holland America owned and operated luxury motor coaches and rail cars.
And all of this extensive infrastructure just allows us to ensure that every single component of our cruise tours are fully accessible. So they are great for multi-generational travel. I know next summer I'm looking forward to bringing out not only my parents to Alaska, but my brother and sister-in-law and my nieces who are 5 and 7. And there are many different ways to personalize your cruise tours. We have over 20 itinerary offerings. And what we suggest that you do, because you can customize them, so you can do your cruise first or your land tour first. But what we suggest that you do is make a bucket list of what's most important for you to see on your Alaska vacation and take that to your travel advisor at CAA Travel, and they will help you select the perfect itinerary offering for you.
Now we do separate our cruise tours into what I like to think of as 4 different umbrellas. Now the first 4 umbrellas are going to be your Alaska, or the first 3 are going to be your Alaska and Denali cruise tours. They're the classic, signature, and ultimate. Finally, we have your Alaska, Denali, and Yukon cruise tour. As Caitlin mentioned, there are so many itineraries that fall under these umbrellas that your travel advisor at CAA is going to be so vital in helping you select the right one. But I will highlight the Ultimate Alaska and Denali category because right now we are running a promotion where Holland America is including a free shore excursion on a couple of these itineraries. Now that shore excursion is going to feature glaciers and wildlife, so it's an excellent time to add value to your vacation. And this is going to be a chart that breaks down the details of those different umbrellas of cruise tours so that you can find the exact one that makes sense for you and your vacation goals. First, let's talk about your Alaska and Denali cruise tour. Now, these are going to be a 7-night cruise paired with travel to Denali and other parts of Alaska's interior. Now, one of the highlights for many people is to go to the interior of Alaska and experience Denali National Park. And we give folks more time on land than any other cruise line with up to 3 nights in Denali.
And stays at our premium wilderness lodge near Denali National Park allow you to immerse yourself in Alaska's wilderness and wildlife. It really is a vast playground for nature enthusiasts. And a common misconception about Denali is that you can see it from the comfort of your cruise ship. However, it is located in the heart of Alaska's interior.
But with us, you will travel to or from Denali in style aboard the McKinley Explorer train. Now, we even have some direct cruise ship to Denali access aboard the McKinley Explorer. It is a double-decker, luxurious domed rail car. On the upper level, you have unparalleled views of the wilderness as you're passing through, as well as a bartender and a rail guide keeping you constantly entertained and hydrated. On the lower level, you are going to have a premium dining car, as well as an open air viewing platform from which you can soak in the alpine breeze.
And the Holland America Denali Lodge is your base camp for exploring Denali. That is where we offer those 1, 2, or 3 night stays. And it's a stunning 60-acre resort style property located less than 2 miles from the entrance of Denali National Park. And it's also situated on the banks of the Nenana River, and there are many park views throughout our property. And Denali Square is the vibrant heart of our lodge. Now, that is a gathering point for guests where you can come listen to live music, roast s'mores at our fire pits, or grab a drink or a bite to eat from Karsten's Public House.
Now, Karsten's is just one out of 4 destination dining options that we have available at our Denali Lodge. My personal favorite is going to be the Music of Denali Dinner Theater. Now, this features a lively and comedic retelling of the first folks who summited Mount Denali, and it's paired with a family-style feast of barbecue brisket and Alaskan salmon. But I promise, when you leave and go home, you will still be singing the songs for Music of Denali because they are so catchy. We also offer some great land meal plans. You have the option to add on a meal plan to the land segment of your cruise tour. Now, your travel advisor can help you figure out which option's right for you because we do offer several different ones, but they do add a lot of convenience to your time on land, and they are prepaid and pre-planned, and they include gratuities. Right now, we are running a promotion where we are taking off $200 per person if you opt for a meal plan for an Alaska, Denali, and Yukon cruise tour. So that is also an excellent way to add value to your vacation.
And in Denali, you have the opportunity to upgrade your lodging with our Denali suites or our deluxe room upgrades. Now, this will be your only chance to upgrade your lodging on your land tour, but you do not have to have a suite on your cruise ship in order to be eligible. Some of the highlights of our Denali suite are that they are spacious rooms with private balconies offering wilderness views, and there are some incredible enhanced amenities. There's custom Pendleton blankets on every bed, cozy bathrobes, and even heated bathroom floors. But space and availability with these Denali Suite and deluxe room upgrades are limited. So make sure you speak to your travel advisor if you are interested in these upgrades. And right now, we're also running another promotion that if you book a Denali Suite upgrade, you'll be receiving additional land credit for your land tour.
Now, you will definitely relax at our stunning wilderness lodge, but you probably came to Alaska for some adventure. And your best chance at crossing off the land Big Five from your bucket list is going to be one of our included tours of Denali National Park. On a one-night stay with us, you have the Denali Natural History Tour included. On a 2 or 3 night stay with us, you have the Tundra Wilderness Tour included. Now, both of these are run and operated by the National Park Service. So Denali National Park is comprised of over 6 million acres of wilderness, but there is only one road in or out. So the Tundra Wilderness Tour is your chance to get as deep into the park as you can possibly go. Right now, a certified naturalist will take you all the way to mile 43. To give you some context, if you were to drive privately, you could only reach mile 15 right now. So it truly is your best shot at seeing both the wilderness and the wildlife of Denali. But the Tundra Wilderness Tour only scratches the surface. There are so many activities that suit all level of activities near Denali National Park. Similar to how you can book optional shore excursions on your cruise, you can also book optional land excursions on the land segment of your cruise tour. Some of my favorites take place in Denali. You could take a flight seeing tour to the top of the mountain, take a helicopter and land on a glacier, visit an authentic Alaskan sled dog, or go on an ATV ride on one of the many trails locally available. There are just so many options near Denali, and Caitlin and I constantly hear from our guests that they wish they had more time near the park. So for that reason, we highly recommend a 2 or 3 night stay with us in Denali. With a 2 night stay, you have time for your included Tundra Wilderness Tour and maybe one optional excursion. But with a 3 night stay, you have time for your Tundra Wilderness Tour and then an entire free day to explore the park, embark on activities, or relax and recharge at our lodge.
And that now brings us to our Alaska, Denali, and Yukon cruise tours, which are our most comprehensive itinerary offerings because you really see it all. For sake of ease, I'm just going to refer to these as your Yukon cruise tours from here on out. And your Yukon cruise tour is your cruise plus travel to Alaska's interior, including Denali. So it's everything we've already talked about, plus a visit to the remote Yukon territory of Canada. Some of the highlights of the Yukon cruise tour itineraries are that they offer more flexible sailing options. So we do offer 3, 4, or 7 night cruises, and your land portion will last anywhere from 6 to 11 days, with up to 3 nights in the Yukon territory. Now, the Yukon cruise tours have been the highest rated guest experience out of all of Holland America's offerings worldwide. And we think that's due in large part to the expert guidance that you'll be receiving from your tour directors, because Taylor and I work as tour directors on the Yukon cruise tours. So it's important to note that these Yukon cruise tours are escorted group travel, where you will have an expert local tour director who travels with you for the entire land portion of your journey. And we offer assistance with logistics, planning, and we even give you our own personalized recommendations at each stop along the way. Now, one thing that is unanimous amongst us tour directors is our love of the Yukon Territory, which is an area that is just steeped in gold rush history. In 1898, over 100,000 stampeders tried to reach Dawson City from Skagway when they heard of a gold strike. Now, out of those 100,000 stampeders, only 30,000 actually made it because the journey was so arduous. And it's an area that is still teeming with the legacies of those who tried to strike it rich. Now, one of the routes that those stampeders would take was called the Chilkoot Trail. And this was a 1,000-foot climb at a 35-degree angle. And these stampeders were required to bring 1 ton worth of goods with them to Dawson City. So oftentimes that required them climbing this mountain not once, not twice, but over 20 times. And once they got over that mountain, they still had to construct a boat to float to Dawson City. So when I say arduous, I really mean it. And traveling with us between Dawson City and Skagway, you will essentially be retracing the route that these stampeders took. And no, we will not make you climb the Chilkoot Trail, but you will gain a deep appreciation and understanding of those young men and women who sought fortune in faraway lands.
Now, a highlight for me in the Yukon Territory is Dawson City. It's a place near and dear to my heart. And Caitlin and I are both thrilled that it is one of the newest UNESCO World Heritage Sites, because that means that the global community is committed to preserving its historic value. Now, Dawson City sits at the confluence of the Yukon and Klondike rivers. It was once a historic boom town during that gold rush, but today it is still a very active mining town. So if you're familiar with the television program Gold Rush, you could even see Tony Beets and his crew walking around town. Now, a highlight for many of our Holland America cruise tour guests is that we have now chartered and organized a 1-hour private flight between the cities of Fairbanks and Dawson City. So our guests have even more time to explore the charms of town. And Dawson City just has this of the time feeling. Our hotel property pictured here is wonderfully representative of the colorful false facades you'll see all over Dawson. You have wooden boardwalks rather than sidewalks, and every road in town is still a dirt road except for one. So you really feel like you're transported back into a different era. In fact, many of the historic buildings you can even take tours of. We also offer on many of our Yukon cruise tour itineraries an included Goldfields tour that immerses you into the Klondike Gold Rush history that Caitlin was discussing.
And there is something so cleansing about being in nature. And traveling with us at Holland America to the Yukon Territory allows you exclusive access to untouched wilderness. And we take you where few have ventured before. Whereas Alaska receives hundreds of thousands of visitors each summer, the Yukon Territory only receives thousands. So it's a really unique destination to travel to.
Finally, that brings us to Skagway, Alaska. Skagway, Alaska is a place I already mentioned as a possible cruise port, but some of our Yukon cruise tour itineraries include a 1 or 2 night stay here at our historic hotel property in the center of town. And Skagway truly becomes alive when all of the cruise ship crowds leave for the day, and you have it to yourself to truly enjoy. Skagway is home to the White Pass and Yukon Railroad. I mentioned this being the #1 rated attraction in all of Alaska. And some of our Yukon cruise tours include it either as a land excursion or as part of your transportation to or from Skagway.
So as you can see, Holland America truly has something to offer everyone in Alaska and the Yukon. But whether you choose our Alaska cruises, our Alaska and Denali cruise tours, or our Alaska, Denali, and Yukon cruise tours, you are guaranteed to make memories to last a lifetime. But remember that there are many different itineraries that fall under each of these categories, and your travel advisor is going to be vital in helping you choose the perfect ones for you.
All right, folks, we just have a couple more minutes of our presentation section. So we want to go over some really exciting promotions and offers that we're running with you. And the first one that we'll discuss is called the Have It All Amenity Package. So the Have It All Amenity Package is going to be all of the best things that you might want to purchase on board one of our ships, bundled together at a greatly reduced price. And that's not all. Right now, we have an early booking bonus, which even enhances the value of this package. So the Have It All package with the early booking bonus has an upgraded beverage package. So you are entitled to up to 15 drinks at up to $15 per drink per person per day. We also have upgraded the standard Wi-Fi to premium Wi-Fi. You have free crew appreciation, so you can take care of all of the folks who take care of you aboard our ships. And then, of course, we have our shore excursion inclusions and some specialty dining inclusions. So these are going to be all of the things you would spend money on board one of our ship, bundled together at the greatly reduced rate of $55 per person per day. So it does offer some exceptional savings for many of our guests.
And I do think I heard a couple gasps. Those 15 drinks per day do not have to all be alcoholic. They can also be specialty coffees, sodas, waters, whatever you'd like. So it's a great way to add value. And then finally, as a special thank you for attending tonight's event, we do also have a Onstage Alaska offer that will entitle you up to $350 in combined onboard and land credit. Now, this is going to differ with whether you're booking a different stateroom category or which itinerary you're booking, but this will be up to $350 in that combined credit. And then it also allows you to have a $25 deposit per person to book your Alaska cruise. Now, this deposit is refundable, and these deals are also stackable. So it's a great way to just add some more value to your vacations. And what's even more incredible is that if you have friends or family in mind when you're thinking about your Alaska or Yukon vacation, you can actually extend this offer to them just so long as you all book with CAA, as it is an agency exclusive limited time promotion. So you must all book with them to get these deals. So we want to thank you for attending our event tonight. It's been our honor to share our experiences in Alaska and our love of Alaska and the Yukon with you. We do hope we see you there next summer. So thank you very much.
Great presentation, ladies. And I tell you, I truly believe that Holland America are the Alaska experts. They do it so well. If you would like to register for any of our upcoming travel talks, there's a little QR code there on the left side. And if you want to share this presentation, it'll be on our website in a couple of days, and it'll be on this one here, Catch the Replay. Then to make an appointment with our travel team, you can just, again, hit the QR code there and come in person or do it over the phone, whatever works for you, but this will just save you a little bit of time to be able to book an appointment in advance. And your travel team at CAA are very, very familiar with Holland America. Everyone is been sailing with them for many, many years and absolutely love the product because we know our members love Holland America and we just don't get the complaints. You know, everyone is having a fantastic time, and they've done such an amazing job over the years too, including more music on board. The food is always exceptional. And of course, Alaska, as we know, is so magical. Let me just see if there's any questions. I don't see any, but again, if you have anything that comes up, your travel team will reach out to you. Thanks so much, ladies. We appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having us. Yes.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank
you
you.
as well.